This is part 2 of the Green Machine project. I told you I was going to save this one, and I did. I just welded this last cross member in this morning. But I've posted plenty of cross members before. I'm not going to do that in this video. We're going to focus on the frame repairs this time. Starting with this plate right here behind the fuel tank. I just cut out the rusted areas and welded in new 3/16 plate steel here. This lip right in front of it under the fuel filter had pinholes all through it. I ended up cutting that out too and welding a new piece in. Here's these two sections all welded in, ready to be primed and coated. Directly across from that is this plate. I ended up doing the same thing on this side. The plate steel that I use is a lot thicker than what was in there from the factory, so it'll outlive the rest of the truck for sure. When I etch or prime and coat these repairs with POR 15, I make sure to do underneath this first cross member before I bolt it in. That way it doesn't rust in between. Then when I bolt this bracket and the evap canister back in, they won't get any rust in there behind them. Everything will be coated and protected really well. As I work my way back along this frame, cutting out and replacing cross members, I'm going to address these little plates, cut these out and replace these too. Some of the new cross members come with plates to repair these areas. Some of them don't, and I just make plates to weld in, if I have to. Once all these little frame repair plates are welded in on both sides, I'm going to move to the mid-frame where these bump gussets are always rotted out. These keep the frame from folding up if you ever bottom out the rear suspension. The floor plate section on this area was really thin on both sides, so I ended up cutting them out and replacing them. Once I have the floor plate sections replaced and welded in, I can go ahead and make the new bump gussets and weld them in as well. Once I get all that stuff finished up, I can etch or prime and coat all this with POR. Once the mid frame's all finished up, I can move along to the back end and cut this last cross member out. Again, the bottom part of the frame was only about 1 millimeter thick back here, so I had to cut all this out and replace it. This part of the frame is structurally important because your trailer hitch bolts here. You definitely want heavy steel in this area. I make a template for this and trace it onto a piece of 3/16 plate steel and then weld that in on both sides so I have full penetration. And here's what it looks like all welded in before I have the holes drilled in it for the receiver. This is so much safer now structurally. I had to do the same thing here on the other side as well. It was pretty thin too. Now there's a nice solid platform to weld this new rear cross member in. I'll have to do a part 3 with the stainless 3-inch exhaust and class 5 receiver upgrades. I already started on the rockers and cab corners. I'm kind of moving along faster on this than I can make the videos. But hey, thanks for watching. I know these are boring when it's not your truck.